Man, we are back with another one.
Yes,
I'm real
sir. Yes,
excited about
sir.
this one. Yeah, real excited about this one.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
We're a little
Yeah,
late.
welcome back.
It's
Welcome.
still a Filmjet Thursday though.
Oh yeah, still
So,
Filmjet Thursday.
so what we talking about today, man?
Right, today what we got in store for y'all. Um, we're gonna be going over the Disney Plus Marvel TV show project as a whole, and then on top of that, we're gonna share our list of shows and projects that we're most excited for this coming out this year. So
Let's get to it, man.
yeah. All right.
So
So what was I gonna? Oh yeah. So you just finished Hawkeye, right? Because I remember you were texting me and you were like, "Yeah, I just finished Hawkeye."
yeah, I finished that.
So
Do you want to talk about
all
that
right.
first, or you want to go in order like WandaVision first?
Now I was gonna ask you like a broader question. I was gonna say like, um, how do you think Marvel did as a whole with the Disney Plus shows like last year?
I mean, overall, I think they're fine. It's just how the MCU is already, it's just like that, but in TV show form. It's good, but it's nothing special. There's no like crazy bad flaws with anything. Um, they clearly put money into it. There's never a problem with effects or anything like that. So there's always production value. But yeah, it just the shows never really do anything special to me. They never really go above and beyond. Um, like I'm
Right,
looking for them to. But it's fine. Overall, it's pretty entertaining. But if
right.
someone came up to me and asked me to recommend them a show, I wouldn't tell them to watch any of those shows unless they're a superhero person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah,
So I agree
yeah.
with you that like they're fine, but like to me, like they were just fine. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I kind of feel like um they did kind of feel a bit cheap to me. Like I'm like Hawkeye, Hawkeye, and like some actually almost all of the shows besides What If and Loki. So like um
Yeah. And I wasn't even thinking about what if, but what if I actually might like the best if you want to keep it real.
you like What If the best, really?
Well, see, it's kind of hard to say because what if isn't really all that. Some of the episodes aren't that good, but at
Yeah.
least what if did something different. I like what they did visually with what if.
Right.
It doesn't really look like any animated series that I've seen, and I've seen a whole lot in my entire life.
Yeah.
So at
The
least
animation
visually,
style was like it was kind of new. Like I've never. You're right.
yeah,
Like
I like
I've
it.
never seen this.
I like
Yeah.
the animation style. They really blended like 2D and 3D really well, and it had this
Mhm.
real unique look, which is something we can't really say about Marvel. But
Right. Right. Right.
um,
I enjoyed What If too. I wouldn't
mhm.
say it was like the best out of all the
Yeah,
shows,
I can't. I don't think I can say that honestly.
but like all right, so if I'm being honest, besides Loki, I- maybe What If might have the best finale. I
What if
think What
did
If
have a
might have
good
the
finale?
yeah, I think What If had the best finale like second to Loki to me. Cuz Loki's finale was like what what you would kind of expect from like a TV show.
Hmm.
What you would need out of a TV show. Like it's not too much. Uh,
Hmm. But it definitely
like
gets
not
you excited for the next season.
right, right. It got you excited for next season, but like that was it. Like it. it wasn't like in WandaVision where all of like the post credit scenes and everything were like trying to set up so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when WandaVision was coming to an end, they were trying to set up like uh so many more different things within Marvel that like it kind of all felt rushed in a way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I see that.
Um, yeah, but I thought I thought Loki had a really good finale. I thought What If finale was really good. Um, and actually, let's talk about the finales for a second. Let's talk about
What
like
if?
the rest of the finales. Now, not What If, but
Okay.
like WandaVision, Falcon, and Hawkeye. Um, because I don't know. I kind of feel like they dropped the ball with a few of these. Do you agree or not?
Oh, I definitely agree. Honestly, but I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier had a pretty good finale. I think the finale
I
of that show was probably, I don't know if I want to say one of the higher points of the show, but it definitely didn't feel like I was missing something after. Like I felt satisfied after that finale.
okay. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, I feel like the story within Falcon and the Winter Soldier did a good job of like staying within staying within that story. So like
Hmm.
say like somebody who um watched Endgame and didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Hmm.
but then in the next installment that Falcon appears in, it's not like there's anything in between that like they missed. That was like too big. Like besides the John Walker thing,
Yeah,
besides
but
John Walker
but
becoming
that's also kind of why I didn't like it though, because it's like there's really not even a reason to watch it then if it doesn't even affect anything.
oh okay. I mean no, because it did introduce some cool characters. Like it introduced John Walker and it introduced uh Valentina uh Allegra.
Right. Well, that was the only thing really to me. What that was really interesting was introducing John Walker, but other than that, I mean, I kind of feel like okay, I didn't really need to watch it. Um, and I think they could have taken that show in a more interesting direction because let's be honest, Falcon and they've really added a lot to him by adding the
Yeah,
whole thing with Isaiah Bradley and everything and his family.
right.
But let's be honest, Falcon is not one of the premier characters in Marvel. And the Winter
Right.
Soldier has a way more interesting story. Like, I think there was a lot of potential where they could have showed him going on his Winter Soldier missions, like throughout time,
Yeah, there was a lot of
and showing
potential.
flashbacks, like and actually showing his missions. And I think there's a lot of potential there with you know cool action scenes they could have done and things like that, and really going deep into him and what he was going through and really understanding why he's just so devastated about being the Winter Soldier and why he doesn't even really want to return to society.
Right.
But I think it's just because Disney, they never really want to get dark. Like they'll tell you someone did a bunch of bad things, but they won't show you. You
Right.
know, so I really think there's a lot of wasted potential there
Do you
because
think
now go ahead.
oh nah, it was I was sidetracking a bit for a second, but do you think that like when Bucky was like the Winter Soldier, right? Um, Do you think that on screen that he was a better fighter as like as the when when he was like when he was mindless and he didn't he wasn't like in his own control? Do you think that on screen he was a better fighter than he was when uh after like the Wakandans cleansed him of everything?
Um, I mean, you could probably make that argument because when he's mindless, he's ruthless and he's gonna try to kill people. Whereas when he's in control of himself, he's not gonna kill people unless he
Right.
has to. So yeah, I guess you could say like that, but I don't think that he's just because at the end of the day, his training and his abilities are still his either way. But he's just gonna behave more ruthless when he's being controlled.
Yeah, I feel like with Bucky's ability, his I feel like he's better when he doesn't have to hold back. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I feel like he wasn't really holding back in the Winter Soldier and in Civil War as much as he is now. And I just feel like his fight scenes, from what I've seen him do in the past, I feel like they could have been a lot better within this show. And
Mhm.
he's the I feel like Bucky is the reason why a lot more people I feel like people were watching more for Bucky than they were for
Mhm.
Falcon, if we're being honest.
Yeah, and it's like that's just because of like I said, Bucky's story is more interesting than Falcon's.
Right.
They
Yeah,
really added to Falcon in the show, but before the show, I mean, there's not really a reason to watch a thing that's just centered around him. I mean, that's why they added Bucky in there in the first place. But I think they could have did a whole show just about Bucky if you want to be real.
yeah, they could have done a whole show about Bucky.
Because like I said, they could do
There's no
half of it.
question.
Yeah, like they could do half of it present day and then half of it going through the timeline and flashbacks of him being the Winter Soldier. Um, I really think that
Because
there's a lot of potential there.
Bucky is a big enough character. He's a big enough
Hmm.
character where he can hold his own. Bucky can hold his own show for sure.
And he's 100 years old, just like Steve, except he wasn't frozen for all
Right,
that time. So he has been on a bunch of adventures. So like if they
right.
could show that, but the problem is that's a really dark time for him. And Disney is scared to do that. They never want to do anything like that. Um,
Right.
and that's just that's going to be a common theme with me over talking about all these shows.
About how Disney doesn't make it dark.
Yeah, um, it's just
Yeah, like I feel like
they
I feel
really
like the
don't
darkest
even
that
want to.
they've gotten.
Now go
I
ahead.
feel like the darkest that they. I feel like the darkest that they've gotten was maybe like honestly, the darkest that they've gotten might have
Was it
been
Winter
with like
Soldier?
Winter Soldier. I mean, I mean, Infinity War was pretty dark. Like
Hmm.
after Thanos did the snap. And also when uh, and what if, and what if,
Hmm.
um, what's it called? Ultra Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultra Vision. And what if he was like he was destroying galaxies? So that was pretty dark. Like, no, not even
And
that.
there was a zombie episode
I'm
too,
sorry. I'm sorry.
but that episode wasn't even that
The
good. But
zombie episode,
that's a different
but
topic.
nah, but honestly, what if might be the darkest part of Marvel so far? If we're being
Would
honest,
and
that
the
Doctor Strange
Killmonger
episode
episode.
was ridiculous.
Oh yeah. That was the
Yeah, the
best
Killmonger,
episode.
that Doctor Strange,
That was
it
the best
was,
episode. The Killmonger episode was dark too.
it was. Doctor Strange episode was so good.
Yeah, that was the best
It
episode.
was.
It really was. Um, yeah, and but what's funny though? How they made Agnes kill the freaking dog in one of his. I didn't expect them
Oh
to do
yeah. I didn't expect that either. I was like, what the heck?
that.
They should have just let the like. It should have just kept it with the story of the dog getting hit by the car. Because I was like, why did she even kill the dog?
Because she's just
That
bad.
didn't really make. I didn't. Yeah. Um. Hmm. All right. So, what would you rank what would you rank the shows if you had to, in order of
Um,
worst to best?
Worst to best. Okay. Hawkeye's this is the what is it? There are five of them. Hawkeye would be number five. Um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier would be number four. WandaVision would be number three. What If would be number two, and Loki would be number one. But there's not really that much of a difference between them. None of them is like way better than the other to me,
Okay. Um.
except maybe Hawkeye is really bad. Not like really bad, but it's clearly the worst.
um. What's it called? When I started Hawkeye, I thought Hawkeye started off really strong, and I was like, okay, like Hawkeye might be top three actually,
Really?
but then like
I thought it started
that was
off
only
weak.
that was only when that was only when I started Hawkeye.
I
But
thought it
then
started
as
off weak.
you did,
Yes.
I thought Hawkeye had a pretty good start. Honestly, if you watched it around Christmas time, I feel like it would have felt better. But
No, I shouldn't have to watch something at a certain time of year to like it better.
but I told you it's like watching Home Alone in February.
No, but you're still gonna enjoy Home Alone though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, but Hawkeye, I thought it started off strong. Um, but then um, I thought Hawkeye just had way too much story for a 6 episode run. Like there was
Right.
just way too much story in there, and then
They
they had
tried to pack it too much.
they packed it way too much, and they cut all these stories short. Uh, there was no like it was just a beginning and an end to all these stories. There was no middle.
Hmm.
And the end for each one of these stories was episode 6,
Hmm.
the finale.
Yeah.
Um,
Hawkeye, see, and I'm about to spoil. So if you haven't seen Hawkeye, turn it off now. Turn this off right now if you haven't seen. Well, if you care about being spoiled at least. Yeah, I'm gonna spoil. So that was your warning. Um, First of all, they've got two main characters with Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. Then they introduce Echo, which is the girl Maya, which is getting her own show, and they brought back Kingpin. They brought in Yelena, um, Black Widow's sister. It's just too much. Um,
yeah, it was way too much.
Even if they wanted to introduce Echo, they shouldn't have brought in the Kingpin at all. They should have just brought in Echo, and then they had the conflict with she has the conflict with Hawkeye and Kate, and that's
Hmm.
it. And then in the Echo show, we get into her story with the Kingpin because in the comics, she's a character that was adopted by Kingpin and raised by him.
Right.
So we should have just had her show to focus on that story instead of trying to introduce that in Hawkeye. Or maybe you could still even bring in the Kingpin, but really just have him as a reveal, like at the end or in the post credit scene, that he was the one behind Kate's mom, doing the dirty business and all that. But the fact that they like brought him in and they had him wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a fedora, I mean, it just looked ridiculous. And he's out in the
so
open killing
so
people.
in
It was just ridiculous. But look,
in King's
and you watch Daredevil, so
yeah.
Kingpin is a person that never even goes in public. That was like the main part of season one. He literally
Yeah,
spent
yeah.
season one doing everything from behind the scenes. People didn't know
Behind the
who,
scenes.
yeah, they didn't know who he was. They didn't know that if he existed or not. And that was like the whole story of season one was Matt trying to find this guy. Like he's barely finding information on this Wilson Fisk guy, and he's got to dig deep and do all this research. And
Hmm.
the people are going to ask questions to all these people and interrogate people. It's just to find this guy. But in Hawkeye, he's just walking around New York City and fighting and causing explosions in the streets. I mean, it's ridiculous. Wearing a
Yeah,
Hawaiian shirt on Christmas. Come on, man.
what's it called? So, I don't know. The whole thing with Kingpin, it didn't really sit right with me. I thought that the Netflix Daredevil series did a better job.
Exponentially better.
Did a better job introducing a character that, like, say this was the first time that somebody's introduced to the character of Kingpin. I feel like compared to the first time somebody would be introduced to the character in the Daredevil series, this really didn't do it justice.
No, it didn't at
Like,
all.
uh especially if you're gonna, spoiler once again, right? Especially
Well,
if
that's
you're gonna
over.
end up
We're spoiling from now on. So
right,
if they didn't turn it off
Espe-
now, then
right, but especially if you're gonna end up shooting him in the last 15 seconds of the of the finale.
well, we don't know if she shot him because they didn't show it.
No, she shot him. It's like, it was so the thing about the Hawaiian shirt and the fedora
I
is
know it
that,
was a reference to the comics, but Jesus Christ,
yeah.
it doesn't look good. Just because it looks good in a drawing doesn't mean it looks good in real life. You look dumb. What kind
Yeah,
of
it
what
didn't.
kind of first of all, it's Christmas time. Why are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt on Christmas? It's cold outside.
Yeah, right. It's cold. It's cold, and plus, like, what, Kingpin was taking way too much damage in the Hawkeye finale. I was like, there's no way that Kingpin's taking this much damage
Bro,
and
he
walking
got
away from
blown
it.
up.
He got hit by a car, bro. Not even
It
blown
just
up.
got up. It just got up. He got macked.
He got hit by a car through through the front window of a store, and then he got blown up, and then he was still walking away,
Yo,
and then
like
they
his
wanted to
clothes,
leave.
his clothes weren't even ripped. Like, you
Right,
know what
and
happens
then
if you
on
get
top of
blown up?
that, on top of that, they want us to believe that he's then again gonna get shot in the face,
I
and
really don't think
and
he got
that,
shot, but I'm
you don't think
thinking
he got shot?
no. I
If
think that
if
girl
they're
shot in the air or something.
if they're if they're no, he got shot, because if you listen closely to the audio of when the camera pans away, you hear
Let
you
him
hear a
fall
body hit the
down.
floor. Yeah, so that's why I believe that she did shoot him in that in those final moments of the episode. But I just did not, in terms of finales, I kind of think that the Hawkeye finale did not, it might have been, I didn't like the WandaVision finale either, but I saw that so long ago that I really can't even remember. But all I do remember is that it wasn't memorable.
The most
The
memorable part
finale.
was
So
was Vision. Vision's story was the most memorable part. Um,
right, right,
they
right.
turned Agnes into just like a generic villain. They had a Harry Potter fight, which wasn't really that good. It was kind of boring. They're just swinging around, um, you know, their hands doing magic. But I will say this: it was a little bit. I'll give it a little credit because of how Wanda ended the fight. How what did she do? I think she used Agnes's spell against her or something. So I'll
Oh
give it
yeah,
that. But I mean, they're kind of just floating in the air, waving their hands around. This is why I don't like magic people because their fights, you got to really be creative to make a magic fight interesting.
Right.
But yeah, the part with Vision having like a philosophical debate, that was the best part of the finale.
Hmm.
And yeah, but I think I'm still glad they made WandaVision because it was different. And
Right.
then
It
showing
was
all the
different.
yeah, and showing all the decades of sitcoms and stuff. I thought that was really
I,
cool and enjoyable.
I think like besides them trying to pack too much into WandaVision too. Like, all right, so not even them trying to pack too much,
I don't think they
but
packed
I
that
feel
much in
like
WandaVision though.
they didn't they didn't pack that much into WandaVision. But I feel like they tried to make everything seem like it was gonna be some kind of big reveal. Like,
That was, you know what that was? That was the internet doing that to. That was you doing that to yourself
yeah, that's true.
because it
That
was all
was
these people coming up with theories like, oh my god, every week they were saying Mephisto is gonna show up. I'm like, first of all, there's no
yo
evidence of
Mephisto.
Mephisto,
It,
and I'm like, why does anybody even want to see Mephisto? I'm like, this is a character people care about now. All of a sudden, now people care about Mephisto of all people.
yeah,
Why do people even want to see that? And I'm not saying that I don't want to see Mephisto. I'm just saying, why are we making theories about it? And like, oh my God, is Mephisto going to show up? Like, I'm not wasting my energy worrying about some Mephisto.
it
And
was kind of funny because it was like
yeah,
Mephisto was like the villain of the year that never showed up
oh yeah, people were even
because they
saying
were
it in
saying
other shows. Like, I'm like, yo,
like they were saying Mephisto was gonna show up in WandaVision,
yeah,
Mephisto was gonna show up in Loki, Mephisto was gonna show up in Spider-Man No Way Home. I was
like
like,
who? I'm
I
like,
was
who cares though? Like, why do y'all even care about Mephisto?
honestly like, uh, it didn't even make any sense. Like the only like nobody really knew the plot of Loki before we were going into the show.
Hmm.
So like I think that's why they were so they thought that Mephisto was going to be the big villain. But then by episode two, it was like we already knew that it was Sylvie.
Yeah,
So or Sylvie wasn't exactly the villain, but like Sylvie was who we thought Mephisto was gonna be.
yeah, like an
No.
antagonist.
Right. So then and then with with the story that they based Spider-Man No Way Home off of, because uh people say that um the story pulled a lot from the One More Day comic, which is when he actually made a deal with Mephisto,
Hmm.
which is similar to what he did with Doctor Strange. Uh, except, well, no, yeah, it was similar to what he did with Doctor Strange. That probably would have made the most sense to be honest. But Mephisto isn't a Sony property, so it still doesn't make any sense. Um, but yeah. Wait, did I give my ranking of the shows?
I don't think you did.
All right, I didn't. All right, let me go ahead and do that. Honestly, I had to switch up some stuff um before we started the show. Um, but you know what's funny is that I think we have the same list because my number five is Hawkeye now. Um,
Yeah, Hawkeye
my number
stinks.
five, yeah, is Hawkeye because that finale, uh, the finale and the episode leading up to the finale, those are usually like the best episodes from what we've seen throughout the Disney Plus shows. And
Hmm.
those two were the ones that didn't really do it for me the most in Hawkeye. So Hawkeye is number five for me. Um Number four is Falcon in the Winter Soldier. Um Only because I felt like the story was a bit choppy at times.
Hmm.
And then it kind of just like miraculously came together at the end. right? And the and miraculously came together at the end, and um, like it was cool. Honestly, John Walker's journey was probably the most interesting part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the most interesting parts of the show to me, especially um, especially the last fight that we really saw him in, which is him versus Bucky and Falcon. That was a pretty good fight. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so I have Falcon and Winter Soldier number 4. Um, I have WandaVision as number 3. Um, WandaVision is actually is that the longest show? How many episodes does that have?
I think it had 8,
8, right? Oh, so
but they were half
what
an
if had
hour.
oh they
Hawkeye's
were half an hour?
episodes were all like 40 minutes. Some of them were an
Okay,
hour, I think. So, I mean, I think they're all about the same in actual time total, but yeah, I think WandaVision had the most episodes.
okay, yeah. WandaVision was the longest. I feel like there was like a lot of filler in WandaVision.
Yeah, WandaVision had 9.
Which is one of the 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like WandaVision could have really been told in well no because it had a pretty good like mid season. Uh, it had a pretty good like pickup during the mid season when yeah, but WandaVision is still my number 3. Um, I I didn't think it was at first. What if is my number 2 pick only because like I kind of like the different stories that they showed, like the different takes on the story. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think that I would like it. Um, I didn't think I was gonna like it this much, especially because I thought that we were gonna get brand new stories, but it was just old stories with either a new twist or a new character in a different position. So I wasn't really feeling it at first, but I feel like what if has some of the best replay value in terms of like rewatching
Mm-hmm.
um uh out of most of these shows. And I you guys already know like how much I love Loki. Like Loki I thought was such a good show. I thought it was well put together. It wasn't too like it wasn't like too CGI heavy. I thought it was great. I thought Loki was a lot of fun. The the score, the music score was like incredible. And it didn't do too much. Like it did just enough and I feel like they landed it. It did just enough and they landed it. So Loki's my number 1. But yeah, we have the same list and
Yeah.
that was my those are my reasons why. Um
Yeah. In
let me
Hawkeye,
see.
man, the beginning, when I tell you, I was actually getting kind of mad because Kate Bishop was so annoying. I'm like, first of all, this girl,
You didn't like
act,
Kate?
no, she acts like a complete idiot. She's supposed to be 22. She acts like she's 12. Seriously, the girl is dumb. First of all, she completely destroys a building in the first episode. And then I'm like,
Oh
are we
yeah,
supposed to feel bad for this person because she's now on punishment from her mother? Like, yo, you knocked down a building. You know what would happen to me if I knocked down a building?
yeah. Yeah.
We wouldn't be
You're
talking
going to
right
jail.
now.
Right.
Bro, I wouldn't make it to jail because my parents would end me. Like, I wouldn't even make it to jail, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand. She doesn't follow any type of directions at all. Like, you mean to tell me that you look up to this person in Hawkeye since you were a kid and you just completely disregard everything he says? You would think that if someone looks up to someone like this, right, that they would
Hmm.
just do whatever they say, even without thinking about it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Right.
really idolize this person and he's like, don't do this, you would think she would follow. But no, she just completely acts out on her own. I don't understand. Um, but I mean,
The
hopefully she's not as annoying, and then we can say that she developed as a character. So next time, please act like an adult. Jesus
right.
Christ.
I want to see a little more growth in Kate Bishop next time. Like it's cool that like like martial arts and you can fight and you're a good archer and stuff. But
Yeah, I'll
it
let it
was
go
like
because
certain
you
parts
don't
of
know
the
how to be a
show,
superhero.
right? And I kind of like how she was learning from Clint like along the way. Like one of my favorite episodes was I think my favorite episode was episode 3 when when they were trying to escape the um they were trying to escape the tracksuits. I think
Hmm.
that was probably the best episode, and I'm kind of upset that that episode was what the trailers focused
Oh, and
is what the trailers focused the heaviest on.
the tracksuits
Yeah,
were
because
dumb.
it's like
They made
no
him a bunch
the
of big.
tracksuit. All right,
They made him a bunch of
so
big dumb
so
oafs. And this is the problem with
so
Disney too. These guys are supposed to be like a mafia, like an organized crime organization,
right
and they're
right
just they make
right,
them
and
look
it
like
didn't feel like that at all.
yeah, they make him. It feels like a rom com or something. Like why is everything
Right,
a joke? Like you're not threatening at all. Like I'm a regular dude, and I wouldn't even be scared
exactly.
if I was captured by those people. Like why can't they make a
So
bad
I
person
feel
bad?
all right. So this is what I'm saying, right? So I was upset. I was kind of upset um I when I would when I realized that Wilson Fisk and Maxus were tied together because I was like in the Daredevil show even, right? The
But
people that Wilson Fisk surrounded himself with were like scary people. Like they were
yo,
scary and
honestly,
they made him look more scary, right?
like why would
So
he be
that
working
way,
with these idiots?
so all right, it was like in the Daredevil show, right? Wilson Fisk surrounded himself with
Madame
people that
Gao,
were Madame Gao,
the
um,
freaking hand. They're
uh,
literally ninjas. She's a leader of
yeah,
ninjas.
right, and those people were made Wilson Fisk look more scary,
Hmm.
right? So that way the Netflix Daredevil show didn't have to make him so overpowered in terms of like if you shoot an arrow in him that he's not gonna drop or anything,
Right,
or if you blow
right,
him up that he's not gonna stay down. But I feel like in the Disney Plus sense, the tracksuits weren't threatening at all, so they had to make Wilson Fisk
right,
seem more overpowered, and that kind of made it whack. You know what I mean?
right. Because every
It's
powerful
like
person,
the tracksuits,
yeah, like every powerful person it isn't always just about physical power. It's about that commanding respect. Like, yeah,
right,
Kingpin
right,
is a really big guy, but he the type of person that when he talks, everybody listens. When he walk in a room, you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like they
He was
just
doing a little too much, like he was doing like a little too much of his own work in this
yeah,
episode.
exactly. And that's the point. He's out here in the middle of the street fighting, causing explosions. That's not even what he's about. Or any mob boss really.
Yeah, that
I mean,
right.
why would a mob boss
That's
that's
nothing.
actually the boss be doing that? You know what they do? They send their soldiers to do that kind of thing. You need to kill someone, they pay someone else to do the hit. Sometimes they pay people
Right,
that are not even in the organization because they want it to just be far away from them so it doesn't get back to them. So they're not connected to it. So you pay people that are way over here that people wouldn't
hmm
even think that are working with you. Why it just doesn't make any sense to me. I think these people they think that just because they bring back a character that people are gonna like it. No, to me, and
yeah,
it doesn't matter who's in it. It matters how well written it is, and that's it. I just don't understand what
Yeah,
they were
I
doing.
I don't think I don't think his character or his organization were written well, and
No.
I I kind of I kind of feel like them not making the tracksuits as like scary and ruthless as say the Hand from the Daredevil show is kind of doing an injustice to Echo's character as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right,
Every
because she's the leader
everybody
of these
who
dudes, but they're
you
just a bunch of idiots.
right, so everybody who you surround with the tracksuits, and you not making the tracksuits as ruthless as like a different crime organization from like let's say any other show, um, you're doing that character in injustice. So I don't know how they're gonna pull off Kingpin in the Echo show, or the people surrounding Kingpin, but I feel like it needs to be they need to take a different step in
Yeah,
terms
they
of
definitely need to tighten up. Well,
yeah.
here's a positive. They got some writers from the Punisher show and the Daredevil show to work on Echo, but the thing about it is it's Disney. So are they gonna let these people do their thing, or are they gonna basically restrict them and not let them show these characters in a way they're supposed to be? And
Well,
I was also kind of disappointed, not really disappointed, but I mean the Yelena edition was cool, but I think there was more potential there too. I mean,
yeah, there was a lot more potential,
I think
especially with how much they use her because they used her in 3 episodes.
yeah, yeah, like she was in it a lot, and I think there should have been more time with Clint and Yelena working out their issue because she thinks that he killed Black Widow, but and I think that's kind of dumb too. Why would she think that he killed Black Widow? I mean, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
No one else thinks he killed her. I mean, I don't understand where that came from, but um yeah, and I also think well, I just lost my train of thought. Jesus Christ.
No, that's all right.
Oh, no,
What's it
I
called?
remember. I remember. It was
You got it. All right.
yeah, it was about Clint's time as the Ronin. Um
Oh yeah,
they finally addressed that whole deal in the show, but it wasn't really interesting. What they should have did was actually show him as the Ronin. See, we're spending time in the show with these people running around with like these cosplayer people playing swords in the park. I don't understand what that was about. Why
yeah.
would they think that
LARP,
we want to see
LARPers.
that? Yeah, like I don't understand what they were going for there. But this is just I keep saying it. It's Disney. They try to make everything funny. They try to make everything light.
Yeah,
We're talking about a man who literally spent 5 years because his entire family died. So
yeah.
for 5 years, he was living like nothing mattered. This is
Right.
this is what they should have dealt with. We should
Yeah.
have seen this. This
I
man,
wanted to see more of the Ronin in
exactly
Hawkeye. If I'm being
what they
honest.
should
Yeah.
have did, just like it's similar to Bucky. Should have showed his flashbacks of him being Winter Soldier. They should have showed flashbacks of Clint being the Ronin, and really why that was so terrible because and again, it's because they don't want to show anybody get stabbed. They don't want to show their Avenger doing bad things. But guess what? People aren't perfect. Tony Stark used to sell weapons. That was his
Yeah.
whole reason for becoming Iron Man. He saw his weapons in the wrong hands hurting people. So he decided to change. Just like we should have seen Hawkeye become Ronin, doing all this
Seeing
ruthless killing, and then when
seeing
his
Hawkeye
family
become
comes back,
Ronin.
yeah, we should have seen him
Yeah.
become Ronin. We should have seen those moments of hopelessness right after. everyone died, and
Yeah.
him falling into this, deep depression, or, you know, just, and not really caring about his actions. And that's why he goes around killing instead of being a hero. Because a hero is someone
Like
that they're
them.
they're not going to kill the bad person. They're going to stop them and help people, but they usually don't kill the bad person unless they're forced. Whereas he was just going out and eliminating threats, completely becoming that weapon that he talked about. He talked about being a weapon in the show, but we don't see him being a weapon.
Right. He did.
Why don't
Yeah.
they show him being a weapon? Well, it's because they don't even want to show someone get stabbed or something. It's ridiculous. This is a show about people with bow and arrows. Two people with bows and arrows. We don't even see anyone get hit with an arrow. I'm talking about an actual arrow that stabs people, not the trick
Yeah.
ones where some smoke comes out or something. I'm talking about where they actually get hit by an arrow. You don't even see that the entire show. The entire show.
The that's why that's why my favorite. Ooh, excuse me. That's why my favorite episode was the third episode, because when they were trying to escape, Clint finally got his quiver, um, uh, while he was fighting Echo. You saw him get to work, and that was like the first
Hmm.
time, in the show where you saw Clint in action, and it actually wasn't bad. He he pinned uh he pinned he pinned Echo to the wall. He actually did shoot one guy in the hand. Because there was one guy that got shot in the hand, and he was stuck to the one of the pillars inside the toy store. Um, and then
Oh yeah.
it was what's it called? Episode 3 was the best because you got introduced to a lot of the arrows, a lot
Yeah,
of
I
the new
will say
arrows. You
that's a
got a Pimtech
positive.
arrow.
That is a positive
Yeah,
that
you
that they actually showed him making the trick arrows and kind of them really focusing on that.
right. But
But again, we also barely see him use arrows. Like we don't even see him shoot an arrow till episode 3, I don't think,
right. He
which
does
is
it
kind of
right.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
That means
He
we
doesn't
sat
shoot an
sat
arrow until episode 3.
yeah, like we sat through an hour and a half of a show called Hawkeye. The show's called Hawkeye, and we have to wait an hour and a half until Hawkeye does a Hawkeye thing. I mean, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here, Disney? What are
Yeah,
we
Disney got,
doing?
as you said, like Disney got to tighten up.
Yeah, see, a lot of times what you'll see in a show or a movie is the actual beginning, like the first scene will be an action
Hmm.
scene, so it satisfies the audience for a little bit. Then we can slow down and have the dialogue and character moments for a while. But there was none
Yeah,
of that. We just see some dumb girl destroy a building in the first episode, and then it's, and we gotta wait 2 episodes, 3 episodes to see
to get
Hawkeye.
some real action. Yeah,
Yeah, like we got this fool playing with plastic swords in a park.
it
Ah,
was it was a lot. It was a lot about Hawkeye that like I didn't really agree with. The storytelling was like okay at some points, but as a whole, it was like a 5 out of 10. Um, yeah, Hawkeye. Like I thought that they were gonna land it a lot better than they did, especially with everybody that they had in the show. Like it should have been. I was thinking about it before. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like Hawkeye could have been a movie. It Hawkeye might have been a better movie than a show, if we're being honest.
I
Uh,
don't know though. I don't know
you
though.
don't think so?
I think it would really work as a show, but they just didn't really use the interesting concepts that are there. Like I said, if they would have shown flashbacks of him being Ronin, like you know what we should have gotten? We should have gotten an entire episode of him just being Ronin and being on a mission, you know,
Yeah,
killing some crime lord or something. That's like we should have gotten an episode like that. Like that should have been a huge part of the show is them showing him as Ronin and why it's so important for him to destroy that suit because he just wants to completely kill that version of himself. But no, we have to listen to these dumb thugs make jokes
dumb
and we
thug.
gotta yeah we gotta watch our Avenger playing swords in the park. I mean, come
Yeah,
on. And this is this
yeah,
this
Hawkeye.
is this is why you need to watch Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes because it's just so much. It's so good. Even
Oh,
Hawkeye.
I
Hawkeye
did
is
start Earth
done really
Mightiest
well.
Heroes.
Yeah.
Hawkeye is done really well. He's
Yo, Hawkeye is actually
I like,
interesting.
yeah, he's cool in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He is really cool.
And
I'll give you that.
since I recently watched that show, it made me realize like Hawkeye is probably my least favorite of the MCU heroes, and that's probably not an uncommon opinion because I mean he hasn't really been focused on really
hmm
until
This is
the
like the first
show.
time.
Yeah.
Well,
So
until maybe Age of Ultron.
oh yeah, yeah, when they like showed his family, but even that it was kind of just like okay, like I don't
Yo,
care about your
there was
I don't
way too
I
much
don't
going
care
on.
about your family.
Like, all right, I can't talk about Hawkeye anymore because there was actually so much going on that like now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of feel like they didn't land any of it.
One thing
Like
that
it
I'm
was just
glad
way
they
too
did
much.
though, but there's well yeah, there's just a lot. But the one thing that I'm glad they did though was they showed the book from the perspective of people that died. Like to them it felt like 1 second, like they just went away and came back.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was cool.
Like that
I
was
didn't know
something that
Yelena blipped.
yeah, yeah. Well, because remember Black Widow takes place in like what 2016 or something.
Yeah, it
That
takes
was
place before. Oh wait, no,
yeah,
wait,
it
when
takes
did it take
place
place?
before Infinity War, so
Yeah.
like 2017.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I didn't know she blipped. But we should move on from Hawkeye though.
yeah,
Before
I
I get
mean, yeah,
upset.
because yeah, I'm still mad thinking about that Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. But oh man.
You talk about either WandaVision or Falcon. I'd rather talk about Loki last because that's the best.
Yeah. Um let's talk about WandaVision since I don't remember it as much as I do Falcon. Uh WandaVision, like I remember like WandaVision, it was the first Disney Plus show, right?
hmm
It was something new. So I was giving it a chance, right? But like the first episode was like 15 minutes if I'm like not mistaken. It was like
No,
15 minutes
it was
on
half an
screen.
hour.
But like it was like 10 minutes of credits. The credits were unusually long for this show.
I
It
don't remember that.
Yo, the credits were so long for this show. It was actually crazy. It was like 10 minutes of credits. I'm not even kidding. Um, it was like half an hour, but maybe like 20 minutes of actual screen time. Um, but yeah, I like for WandaVision, right? I did think it was cool how each episode represented a different decade. And then how we didn't really know what was going on at first. And like different, we didn't really know what was going on until like episode three almost because um we didn't know where Wanda was going with like
hmm
uh how she switched into reality and everything until we got to see what was going on from the outside and from uh Spectrum's perspective. Uh I I forgot Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau's perspective. Until we
hmm
started to see stuff from there, like we didn't really know what was actually happening inside the hex. Um I did like the show, right? I thought that there were a lot of things that really made this show work. Um uh yeah, there were a lot of things that really made this show work. Um I think that as you said before, like Vision was probably my favorite part of the show, like as a whole. I thought I thought Vision's character, like him being like kind of like clueless about everything, was kind of funny at times
hmm
because because it was kind of funny, but it was strange. But I thought that the mystery of like how Vision is alive and everything was like the most interesting part of how the show ran, because then you actually got to see like the extent like Wanda's power and how like actually like overpowered like she is, because um it wasn't until like Vision kind of like was almost was like cracking the code that they were in something. When he tried to escape, and then uh when Vision tried to escape, and then because of that, like he was dying.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda had to expand the hex, and you're just like, what? Like, how is this happening? And then you actually saw it, like how strong Wanda really is. So that was like really cool to me. Learning more about like Wanda and Vision and their relationship, and like how in reality, like half of the stuff that was going on in there, well, all the stuff that was going on in there was fake and
Mm-hmm.
was just under Wanda's control. So,
Yeah, how'd you feel about them doing the Quicksilver fake out?
yo, the Quicksilver fake out, I didn't get it, and it wasn't really like, all right. So this is what this is what I want to say. It was like you have like all these fan theories and stuff like that about like Mephisto, and how about like how when Monica when Monica mentioned that she had a friend uh that was bringing her a vehicle, um that everybody thought that it was going to be Reed Richards and stuff like that. Like you have all these fan theories, but then you do something like bringing Quicksilver from the Fox universe, right? And then Wanda saying to her kids, "That's not your uncle. That's something else." But then turn around and and give us something like um give us a reveal like Ralph Boner. That's like I didn't really like that. It was like it was like not satisfying. It was like
I
not
wasn't even
satisfying to me.
mad
I was
about it.
You weren't mad about it?
No,
I was
because I
kind of
knew,
like
first of all, you know damn well they wasn't bringing in the X-Men. Be real, they were not bringing in the X-Men in this show.
all right. I
The
didn't think they
X-Men
were gonna
are still
bring in.
years away.
I don't. All right. I didn't think they were gonna bring like the X-Men in this show, but at least give us something like Quicksilver, uh, from a different universe that could have like started. So what like a lot of the fan theories I've been seeing is that like this whole multiverse this whole
Well, they should
multiverse
have brought
thing.
back the Quicksilver actor from Age of Ultron. That's what they should have did.
Oh,
But
Aaron
it should
Taylor
have,
Johnson.
yeah, but it should have been fake, just like how Vision was really dead, and when he left the Hex, he died, or he was gonna die.
Mm,
That's what they should have did with
mm.
Quicksilver too. They should have brought him back, but then he's dead. When if the Hex goes away.
Oh, you know what I remember? I think the the whole Mephisto tie-in is that uh I think in the comics Mephisto and Agatha Harkness have like some kind of relationship.
Hmm.
Like those two characters are related like a lot closely than people know, and I think that's why a lot of characters are saying, "Oh, Mephisto is is tied to Agatha," but
Yeah, but there was no
no,
evidence of him being in it though, so I don't understand why people were just running with this theory.
you're right. Um, what what I was gonna say about the Quicksilver thing is that I kind of felt like whatever they're doing with like the multiverse and everything, I kind of felt like Quicksilver could have been like a nice start. Like they could have like tied in something with that. Um, like just have a little multiverse magic here, and you have a little multiverse magic in Spider Man, and then all that ties in with the multiverse of madness in the Doctor Strange.
Hmm.
That's kind of like what I expected to happen. So when we didn't get that, I was like, oh, okay, well that was kind of lame, you know. It was like, why waste that
Hmm.
on something like as like not even funny as Ralph
Yeah,
Boner.
Ralph Boner. Yeah, it's just Disney. Disney thinks they have to make everything a joke.
Yeah,
It's just the way it is. I feel like, and if people keep watching it, it's just gonna keep going. You know,
right.
it is
Yeah,
what it is at this point.
but I do think that WandaVision as a show, um, like I'm remembering more like as we're going on, and WandaVision as a show was pretty strong. Like it wasn't like yeah, there were a couple filler episodes, but like it wasn't like it was bad. Like it wasn't bad.
No, it's
So
not bad at all. It's not bad at all.
yeah,
It's just nothing that's that great, which is all of them.
right. So I give it that. What's your overall take on the show?
Yeah, it was. It's really just. It's fine. Just that's just the word of the day. Fine. It's
Right.
not. It's not great. I mean, it's good, but it is. It ain't that good. It's
Yeah.
entertaining, but I mean, I've seen a lot of better shows in my lifetime.
Yeah, fine is the word of the day. Like honestly, if we're moving on from like WandaVision, then like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I thought was just fine too. Like, I I wasn't I didn't really get like excited by any of the scenes. Like, I kind of figured like going into the show that it was gonna be like a lot of fight scenes in the show, but like none of the fight scenes really like hit me like that. I remember the one fight scene that like stuck with me was uh not even the one with um John Walker's Captain America and versus versus Bucky and Falcon, but it was the one right before that when Lamar had just died and John Walker had to chase down
Yeah, and they cut that
uh
guy's head off.
cut the guy's head off with the shield.
Yeah, that was
That
one
was
moment
probably
that I liked a lot because I didn't
yo
think they were gonna do it. I didn't think they
yo
were gonna show him do that.
I didn't think they were gonna show him do that either. So I was just like, okay, like this is kind of like the direction that I kind of want Marvel to go. It's like you guys can't be afraid to show some of the darkness because the darkness
Hmm.
is what is gonna reel the audience in sometimes. Like
Definitely.
that was like the darkest moment of the show, and then I'm like I was kind of like learning now that like um I feel like they only did that because of the theme of the episode, like the world is watching.
Yeah,
So it was just because like it kind of had to be like a ruthless scene like that in order to for the audience to feel the same shock as the people of the world of the Marvel
definitely.
universe. Yeah. Um but
And how
like
he did it with the shield too was pretty crazy.
right. But like at the same time it was like wow, like that scene was like so emotional and everything, and then it was just like the scene with Lamar was so emotional, and then um th- that was just so brutal. Like right after, um, actually, now I think about it, there was one scene. I think it was like uh, it was like episode 3 or something like that. Episode 3 or 4 when um they were somewhere, but because Bucky had freed Zemo from the prison, the Dora Milaje had hunted them down,
Hmm.
and then that fight scene inside that apartment was actually OD. because the Dora
Yeah.
Milaje,
No, the Dora Milaje are tough.
yo, they're tough, bro. That scene was actually that scene was so good because they had what's it called? They had John Walker, they had Bucky, Sam. Like nobody was getting out of it. Dora Milaje had them all. So I like, wow, that was a crazy scene. That was a really good fight scene.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think like the one problem I had was that like the the motives um of the of the Flag Smashers was like kind of like muddy. Like I didn't really understand what their motives were.
Yeah,
Uh,
they were pretty
at
muddy.
times, yeah, and then yeah, I didn't really understand what their motives were. So I kind of enjoyed the episodes that weren't focused uh so heavy on what they were doing and more about like Isaiah Bradley's character
Hmm.
and the one episode where uh they were talking about where they found that guy in the shipping container in his lab, like episodes like that, and like with Zemo
Yeah,
and everything. Like that was probably like the better part of the
definitely.
show.
The
Yeah,
best parts was when we seen Zemo, Isaiah Bradley, John Walker. Those were all the interesting people.
yeah, but like
But you know what's
the
crazy? The Flag Smashers would have been way better if they did the original story because it was all just bad timing with Corona. The original plot of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was gonna have this big global pandemic, like a disease and there was something about the Flag Smashers were trying to help. And what was the girl's name? The leader of the Flag Smashers. Her mom
oh
died. Yeah, yeah,
Carly
yeah,
Morgenthau.
yeah. Carly's mom died because of this like pandemic, and but they couldn't do that with what happened in real life. It would have been in poor taste.
Oh, right, right, right.
So like near the end of like at the last moment they kind of really changed the plot around and stuff. So I think the show suffered because of that. But I mean, it is what it is. I can only judge what actually came out. I can't really
Right, right,
say,
right.
oh well, this is better. I mean, yeah, it sounds better in concept, but it's still the execution. So yeah, the Flag
Yeah,
Smashers ended up kind of being a dud, and I really wish that they would have just focused on John Walker and him being the only bad guy. Captain America running around killing people would have been pretty cool.
right. And then Bucky and Sam having to stop him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But no, I think all right. So what I said before about like this show like not mattering much, I kind of take it back only because like reintroducing well not reintroducing but like reminding people that Zemo is still around, and the fact that like they brought Zemo to the raft now, which is under the supervision of Thunderbolt Ross.
Hmm.
Um, could like be lining up either like the Dark Avengers or the Thunderbolts in the near future.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm
I'm
excited
kind
about
of
that.
yeah, I'm excited to see where they take that because Zemo was one of my favorite villains from like Civil War. Um like if we're talking villains like Zemo is definitely up there. Um and uh there's John Walker and how they introduced like Valentina Allegra. Um right? That's her name.
Yeah.
She has like four names. But
And what's her name? Uh, uh, the Shield agent, Agent Carter, the niece, not Peggy Carter, her niece.
oh, Sharon
Sharon,
Carter.
Sharon Carter. Her
Yeah,
ended up being the power broker.
is a power broker. I was like, I didn't really understand her character, but I kind of got it toward the end.
Hmm.
It well, no. I still don't understand her character, Power Broker. It was kind of weird. But yeah, and then that actually like that reveal was kind of like whatever. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It was like we were waiting like who's the Power Broker, and then it was Sharon all along. So I was just like, all right, like that's cool, but it's really like whatever. Um, I I feel like in terms of like structure, this show, even though like the Flag Smashers being like the main antagonists weren't uh weren't the best, I kind of feel like in terms of show structure and like storytelling, um it did a lot better than Hawkeye. Uh and I feel like with even with a lot less um like big characters. Like Hawkeye had a lot of big characters to use, so I feel like at times like them trying to fit all that story into 6 episodes was like just overwhelming for them. But
Hmm.
the fact that it was really just like three main characters in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then like all these like smaller supporting characters that they had to work with. I thought that it gave them the opportunity to tell a better story, which they did in that sense. Um, I didn't like the final fight with Sam and Batroc because if we're being honest, like Sam lost that fight, even with the new suit. Like Batroc was like, okay, new suit, like no problem. Sam was fighting Batroc and he still lost, and then um when there was trouble elsewhere, like Sam just ran from the fight. So I was just like, okay, like that fight was kind of lame because you lost. But uh, I think like in the final fight when it was like, I mean not the final fight, but when it was Bucky versus the rest of the Flag Smashers, when he was trying to save those people, I thought like um that was like an area where like how I was saying before, how like I feel like Bucky's combat skills have been better in the past. Uh, when he
Hmm.
wasn't trying so hard to pull his punches. But I'm like, Bucky, these are super soldiers too. Like you can wild out. You can wild out a little bit.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
can hit
mean?
them. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's like these are super soldiers too. Like you can you can go to work because like they're super soldiers, but they're not trained like Bucky was. Like Bucky was a trained machine, literally. Um, yeah. Um, you have anything else to say about Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Um, Not really. I like the suit, the Captain America Falcon suit, and then we see the vibranium one. I want to see that one in full.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, it was okay show, pretty entertaining, but again, nothing special. It's fine. Word of the day. So yeah, we can move on to let's talk about what if. Because
Oh, what if? Okay.
what if while it was good visually, it was a little disappointing because this is a concept literally called what if, which endless possibilities, but they didn't really dive into that concept that well, I think. The first episode was just has Captain America as a girl, well, Captain Britain, I guess. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Captain Carter, because there already is a Marvel character called Captain Britain, but whatever. Captain Carter, and it's literally the same as the movie, but just condensed into 30 minutes. And like the story beats are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like Agent
Yeah.
Carter's her lover gets stuck in time and she gets blasted to the future, just like Steve
Mhm.
Rogers did. I mean, it was this exact same. So I feel like that was kind of a waste. Um,
Right.
and in the trailers, everyone was hyped for that zombie episode. That episode wasn't really all that.
Yeah, the zombie episode, like it was killing me.
Yeah, like there was moments, right, where people are dying and characters aren't even like reacting to it. It's like these are supposed to be, your friends, your best friends. You work with them every day, and they get eaten by a zombie, and you don't even care. Like I don't know,
Right.
man. But there was some episodes
The
that were really good though.
yo, yeah, tell me about it. There were some episodes that were really good. The what if to me, like I wasn't really feeling it until um let me see. So it started off with the Agent Carter episode. Then it was Star Lord T'Challa, right?
Yeah, that was a good episode too.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a really good episode. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool seeing these different characters like in a different light, like how they
Hmm.
made
Thanos was like a good guy or something. Well, kind of.
yeah, Thanos was like a good guy. Yo, I forgot about the episode. I might have to go back and watch it because
Yeah.
I forgot about that episode. But how they made uh what's his name, Tavon, the uh the collector, how they made the collector like actually cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, they made the collector cool. So that was like I like
Yeah, he
that.
was like a fighter.
Right. And then I think after that was the Killmonger episode, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was
No,
after the Star Lord one. It was when all the Avengers died. The murder mystery
oh,
one.
that was kind of interesting.
I
Like
like that episode
it
a
was,
lot.
yeah, I like the episode. Like it's like an episode that like you can't really watch again because you already know the answer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like
But I
but
like
like
seeing Hank Pym as Yellow Jacket.
yeah, at the time I seen Hank Pym like um like seeing actually like if you think like harder about it, like how strong Ant-Man Ant-Man is as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. Um so that episode was pretty interesting. I liked it. Um and then what was after that? Was it after that
It was the Doctor
Doctor
Strange
Strange?
one. Yeah, which is the best
Yo, that
episode
Doctor
in the.
Strange, that was the best episode, yeah. That Doctor Strange episode was so good. I was like, wait, like this is like sad.
Yeah.
Like I was so sad watching that episode. I was like, yo, this is like terrible.
Hmm.
Especially like after like it was just like he couldn't escape the absolute point, right?
Hmm.
And then it was just sad because even with everything that he did to to get away from that, he just never got happier, like at all.
Hmm.
Like it was just downhill sadness from the first moment that she died in the accident. Yeah, it was a heavy episode.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Uh,
And I
yeah.
thought that episode wasn't even going to be good. Just reading the thing because it says, "What if Doctor Strange lost his heart?" I'm just like,
Hmm.
oh,
Instead of
brother.
his.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay. And then, watch it. They completely proved me wrong. I have to say that because that
Yeah,
episode was the best one in the entire show.
and then yeah, because like I didn't really like Party Thor. The like
No,
the Party Thor episode.
no, I didn't like
It
that
was
episode
like
either.
yeah, it was like whatever. And then Zombies was like it was cool, but like
That might be the
it
worst
wasn't.
episode in the show.
You think Zombies is the worst episode?
It's either the zombies, Captain Carter, or yeah, Party Thor.
I
Those
think
are
I think I think Party Thor was like the only one that I was like I'm not interested. Only because like so like I was interested in the Captain Carter only because it was the first episode, right?
right.
But like after seeing all the episodes and then coming to Party Thor, I was just like,
Yeah,
this
isn't
isn't.
normal Thor already kind of Party Thor? Like, what's the difference? There's not even anything that's that
Yeah,
different.
like that was just Thor in the first Thor,
I know. Yeah, exactly.
and then uh what was after that? Was there like
After what? The
uh,
zombies? It was the Killmonger episode.
oh the Killmonger episode? The Killmonger episode was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Killmonger episode was pretty good. Yeah, I I thought I thought what if like even though it was condensing like all these Marvel properties into one episode of their own. I did think that it wasn't bad. Uh, the way they did it.
Hmm.
Um, the only thing, the only episodes that were like, there's only a few episodes that were really new. Like I feel like the Thor episode was new. Like the concept of it was new. The
Not
Killmonger.
really.
I mean, like
What, that it didn't
yeah,
steal anything from a movie?
yeah. Like it didn't steal much from a movie. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but even still, that one didn't really. It didn't really that like use the what if thing to its advantage. Like it was kind of just Thor being Thor, and you know, just not really caring about what he's doing. But like the Doctor Strange one kind of had the same like intro as the movie, but that was still the best one. Same with like a Killmonger one. That one, that one was it took a lot from Iron Man one, but then once it got past that little part of him saving Tony, it was completely new.
Yeah, because well, the Killmonger one was like a mixture of like Iron Man and Black Panther, kind of.
Yeah,
Not really. Wait,
it didn't
the
really
Killmonger
take
one was actually
it didn't take no
it,
story beats from Black Panther though.
yeah, it didn't take any story from Black Panther. It might have, if anything, like it took like some from Iron Man, maybe like a little bit from like Infinity War, kind of when when it was like how they were fighting,
Well,
how it was like a
just
war,
because it was a big battle.
yeah, big battle like outside of Wakanda. I mean, but they did the same thing too, in Black Panther if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like in Wakanda, they always fighting outside.
yeah.
um, uh, maybe like maybe zombies was like the kind of like the newest.
It was, but and that ended up being the freaking worst one.
Yeah, you did. Hmm. Yeah, but honestly, what if was like pretty solid? What was I gonna say? What was the Ultron episode called? It was like,
I think it was called What If Ultron won.
What if Ultron won? Okay, what if Ultron won? Yeah,
That
like
one was pretty interesting too.
it was interesting because like I kind of feel like a lot of people, well, me included, like I wasn't really satisfied with Age of Ultron, especially
Yeah, yeah.
especially knowing like from the comics like how powerful Ultron really is,
Hmm.
and then seeing in What If like how powerful Ultron could have become had had he downloaded his full consciousness into Vision's body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like something like this would have been so interesting if they played it out in the MCU live action. Like say Ultron did download his full consciousness into Vision, right? And then like this whole time, like they were trying to figure out how to get uh like you know how the plot of the finale was getting uh what's his name, Zola's consciousness is download into Ultron,
Yeah.
right? So like say it was something similar. It was something similar with Age of Ultron, except instead of Zola's consciousness, like they tried to get like Jarvis to go to to uh to go into Vision's body. I I just kind of felt like the whole like Sokovia battle was like kind of you know it, it it almost felt like too repetitive of like they try to repeat the way that uh the way the first Avengers was, where they were fighting an army
Mm-hmm.
just to justify like how strong the villain was, but it didn't really make sense because Ultron by himself, uh had they had he downloaded his consciousness into Vision's body, would have been a formidable foe for all of them to fight
Mm-hmm.
all together. And we see that looking at this episode of What If. So I like this episode of What If because I kind of feel like it didn't make Age of Ultron better, but honestly, you can almost be like, if you want a better Age of Ultron, then just watch the last two episodes of What
Yeah,
If.
yeah, honestly. And mind you, Age of Ultron killed a speedster with bullets. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Do I even have to
I
get into
know.
how stupid that is? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. I don't know. Not
Oh,
Marvel's best.
but I do gotta say this. Why
Hmm.
do they every time they show an archer, like every time they want to show like something bad happened to an archer, they cut his arm off? What is that?
Oh,
I can think of so many things where I've seen an archer lose an arm. In that
I
What If
liked his
episode,
bionic arm.
I mean, yeah, I like it, but I'm just saying this isn't even like a Disney problem or Marvel problem. It's just like everybody always does this.
Yeah,
Um, in Young Justice, remember when they the whole clone deal and they brought back the original Roy Harper and he was missing
yeah.
an arm. Do you
Hmm.
remember in Arrow? In Arrow, when there was like a future episode that Oliver lost an arm and he had like stopped being the Arrow in the future. He had
Oh
lost an
yeah,
arm.
yeah,
He cut off Merlin's hand so that he couldn't be Archer
yeah.
no more. Um, uh,
Yo,
I'm
the
trying
the
to
the
think.
Roy Harper thing. The Roy Harper thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like he was missing an arm. There's so many. Oh, and in The Dark Knight Returns, Green Arrow loses an arm. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Why do they
I don't
always
know.
make an archer lose an arm or something?
I don't know. I don't get it. It's
We
funny
got
though.
yeah,
It's
we gotta
weird.
yeah. It's one of those things that I noticed after watching the What If. I'm like, wait a minute. Every time there's like an alternate future,
Yeah.
there's an archer that loses an arm or something, or whenever they want to like show that an archer is going through it, he's got to lose an
Yeah.
arm.
Right. I I like I like Clint and Natasha in that episode though. I
No, no,
I
no.
thought
That
I thought they
that
were
episode
cool.
was good. That episode was good,
Yeah.
and they have a good
And
dynamic too. I wish we could have got to see more of that in the MCU. Honestly, let's see
yo,
if they didn't kill Black Widow. If they didn't kill Black Widow, that's what they should have made. Honestly, they should not have done the movie Black Widow.
Yeah,
They should have made the Hawkeye instead of doing Hawkeye. They should have made the show about Hawkeye and Black Widow.
right.
If they didn't kill Black Widow in these, that's what they should have did. That would have been way better.
That would have been way better because like seeing their dynamic in this episode. You're right. Like it was they um
We should start writing TV.
we should. It was just them two. It was just them two versus Ultron, and 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 Loki. They won.
Right. And I don't think um what's his name? Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson, they didn't do the voices for What If, but at least
I
if I
think
remember
I think Jeremy Renner
correctly.
did his character.
Oh,
I
he
think
did,
Jeremy Renner did Clint.
but
But
Scarlett Johansson didn't. Because I was about to say, it
yeah,
still felt like it didn't feel like it was different people. You know what I'm saying? It felt like
yeah,
it was the same people. And that was like a lot of the people in What If, because there was a lot of different actors doing the
right.
voices, and they were
Hmm.
all great. I mean, I don't have a problem with none of them. Even if the voice sounded different than the live action version, it still felt
Right.
like that character, like it was believable that this is the same person or a different version of that person.
Yeah, like it didn't bother me at all.
Hmm.
It was a new voice for like Tony Stark. Uh, in both the finale when he showed it real quick, and in the episode where it was him and Killmonger. And a
Hmm.
different voice for Steve Rogers. In the first episode. Um, I think one more. At first, I didn't know that. What what's the Doctor Strange actor's name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I didn't know that he reprised his role as Doctor Strange. It didn't sound like him at first, but then I listened to it, I watched it again, and I was like, okay, that is him. So a lot of people did come back for this, which I I was kind of surprised about after hearing that, because in the first episode, like after I heard that, like Steve what's his name, the voice actor for Steve Rogers wasn't coming in. I was like, okay, so maybe like a lot of them aren't, but I was surprised at how many did. So it was cool.
Yeah. That was the last time we'll ever see Chadwick Boseman,
Yeah, that was.
which is like really sad. And
Uh,
I don't know what they're gonna do with Black Panther 2. I mean, that's kind of secondary when a man dies, but in
hmm
movie context, I have no idea what they're gonna do with that movie.
I'd rather them wait than rush something just because like the fans are asking for it, but like because like it's supposed to come out this year, but we still haven't heard much about like plot or anything.
Yeah.
Um, I I just hope that they don't rush it, especially because like Black Panther, the first one was seen as such like a good movie. I don't want them to like kind of ruin their record, but by releasing something that's not um accepted as well. Um, but yeah, what if like I really like what if I didn't really expect after watching like the first two episodes I didn't really expect it to be uh as good as it turned out to be, but it actually um it actually did a lot that like I was happy with. So
Yeah, definitely.
um but moving on, we could talk about Loki because I know you and I both like enjoy Loki like as well as like a lot of people across the internet. Loki was definitely the fan favorite out of the
Hmm.
Disney Plus shows.
And I think a lot
If
of
we're
that
being
is
honest.
because of how it's really going to affect things going forward. With them finally bringing in Kang,
Yeah,
and it looks like he's going to be the next big bad of the universe. Um, so yeah, I thought that was really cool. And Tom Hiddleston is a really great actor.
he is.
I mean, ever since the first Avengers, well, really since what, Thor,
Hmm.
um, he's always been one of the more interesting characters, even in which is probably the worst movie in the MCU, Thor: Dark World.
The
When
Dark
he's
World.
on screen, though, when he's on screen, you're watching. I mean,
Right.
he can make that if he can make that movie bearable. I mean, that just shows how great he is. And we should have gotten. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say should have. We've gotten a lot of Loki. I mean, he was a big part in Thor Ragnarok too. But you know, the Loki show was a great idea. He's great in the role. It was really interesting, like with the whole TVA thing and how there's actually an organization that goes out there and they're constantly fixing the timeline. I thought that was
Hmm.
really cool. And yeah, just him having and him meeting other versions of himself was just really cool.
The Loki, right? I really enjoyed this show because I thought that each episode ended with like a shock. Like each episode um had just something about it that was different. Um and I just thought it was written so well. Like the from the first episode when Loki was trying to figure out like what the heck was going on in the TVA because he was just taken out of his universe into uh I don't even know what to call the TVA because it's not like a universe like it's something it's like a side universe or something
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just him taken out just him being taken out of his universe and then him asking so many questions in the first episode like how long have you been here or like um that one guy that he was like give me the tesseract or I'll gut you like a fish, right? And the guy was like, what's a fish? And he was like, you don't know what a fish is? And then all of that like building on his curiosity of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what the TVA is like he was like is this the greatest power in the universe talking about time, right? And about how all that is low-key foreshadowing how strong Kang is about to be once
Hmm.
he officially comes in the MCU because even though we got Jonathan Majors as a form of Kang, that that officially He Who Remains like that I don't think is considered Kang yet because he said like if you think I'm scary,
No, no, no. The
Jonathan
version that
Majors,
we meet is not King, but the
yeah,
one I think the one that we see like the statue at the end when he goes back to the TVA and no one
uh-huh.
recognizes him because he changed the timeline and everything. Like when he and he
You think
sees
that's
that
Kang?
statue. I think so. It might be.
Hmm. I I just think that it's not Kang because he's not wearing his helmet.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if he was wearing his helmet in that statue, then we'll be like, okay, like that's Kang. You know what I mean? But because like there's so many different versions of Kang that it's like we won't know unless he actually like on screen says, "I'm Kang. I'm Kang the Conqueror." But um, He Who Remains did say in the show that like he goes by many names. So like we're going to get all those later on, which I'm super excited about. But like even like between the first and the last episode, which are two that we just discussed, like there were so many different things that were just like exciting. Like um I think it was like okay, so Loki was 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Loki was 6 episodes. So episode 4, right? Wait, was it episode 4? I believe it's episode 4. I think episode 4 was one of my favorites because episode 4, when it was Loki and Sylvie, and they came back to the TVA when when they escaped, when they escaped Lamentus and they came back to the TVA, and they got a present with the timekeepers, right? Sylvie threw a sword and cut off one of the timekeepers' heads, and I was
Hmm.
like, "What?" But at that moment, at that exact moment, like I didn't realize that timekeepers were robots. So I was just like, "What the heck?" Right? And then when I realized that like there was so much more to the story, I was like, "Wow!" Like they're really like doing this. Like like there's no way that this show is gonna get better because that was kind of shocking for me, right? And then at that same moment when uh Renslayer prune Loki in the same episode, like not even like 2 minutes later, I was just like, this is actually going really crazy. It's actually getting kind of crazy. So yeah, I thought that Loki delivered a lot of those like really good shocks episode after episode
Yeah,
because
definitely.
even in the episode after that, um Loki seeing all the different powers that all these different Lokis possess, it was like Loki has a lot of power and it's a lot of different things that he can do with his power. And seeing all these other Lokis do what they do with with their magic, it was just like I kind of can't wait to see where our Loki goes with his power and like how important his character, knowing what he knows now, will be to the MCU in the future, especially when it comes to fighting King. So I just thought that like his story and the story was just like it was a lot, and I liked like almost every second of it. um but yeah, Loki was a hit for me. I really liked it.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, so that's both of our favorite shows out of the Marvel. So what are you excited to see going forward in 2022? I mean, there's a lot of stuff dropping. Um,
I mean, there's so much stuff dropping this year. It's like I kind of can't even say all the stuff that's on my list because it's just like if or I couldn't even add all the stuff that I wanted to my list because it would have just made the list way too long. Like I'm already looking at my list. It's a mixture of movies and shows that I can't wait to see. Like uh not even all like comic book movies, but or shows, but we have Atlanta season 3 is coming out this
oh,
year.
see, and I totally forgot about that. That's that's one of my favorite shows.
Yo, Atlanta, right? Atlanta season 3. I can't wait for that. We also got. I'm just gonna go through all the shows that I got. So Atlanta season 3. Um, we got Stranger Things season 4 coming out.
Oh, I forgot about that
Um,
too.
yeah, Stranger Things season 4 is coming out soon. I thought that because usually Stranger Things usually drops their seasons around the holiday. So I thought that season 4, uh, based on the promo, was gonna be around New Year's. So I thought that it was gonna come in the new year, but it didn't. So I'm curious to see where they end up releasing it. What holiday the theme is based on. Um, but moving on, Moon Knight.
Yeah.
We haven't heard much about Moon Knight, but that is the next installment of the Disney Plus shows, and I am predicting late February, early March, possibly for a release for this show. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long for that. Um, but another show that we know is coming out this year. To kick off the summer, I believe, is The Boys, season
Oh
three.
my goodness. That's one I
The
cannot wait for.
Yo, I can't wait for The Boys season three, especially with all the teasing that they've been doing. Um, I I don't know if you know, but like they they have this they have this talk this talk show slash like news show on YouTube that I think they release like an episode a month, and they've been doing it. It's called 7 on 7 on YouTube, and it's literally
I'm about to look it up
news.
right now.
It's literally news, like a VOT news network, and they do like a 7 minute newscast, and they drop one
Oh,
every
that's
month.
hilarious.
Yeah, and they drop one. They drop one every month since I believe September. So I don't know. They're really going hard with the marketing leading up to this season. So I'm like actually very excited, and they've done a lot of recap of the last season uh within these episodes. So, but yeah, The Boys season 3. Speaking of season threes, we have Mandalorian season 3 that is supposed to be dropping late this year. So I can't wait for that. Especially with the way the Book of Boba Fett is going.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you're watching.
Um, yeah, I am watching. Are you?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. The Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, it's going pretty well right now. I'm not complaining so far. Um, uh, and the last of the shows that like I'm really looking forward to is Ozark season 4, part 1.
Yo, I didn't know you were watching that.
You know, I was watching Ozark.
No.
No, honestly, I think I was one of the first ones on Ozark because Ozark came out so long ago, like
Yeah.
so long ago, and
I didn't
then
start watching until season 3 was already out, or maybe season
yeah
3 had just dropped.
yeah. So I watched season 1 and 2, and I think they took a long break between season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And then when season 3 came out, like a lot of people just hopped on it right away. And I'd already seen seasons 1 and 2. And like season 1 and 2 weren't my favorite, but season 3 was really good.
Really? Yo, I
So
love season 1. Season 1 was crazy.
wait, actually, hold on. All right. I didn't like season 2. I didn't like season 2 as much as I like season 1. But season 3 was really good. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Season 1 was good. Um, season 1 was crazy. You're right. But season 4, part 1. So I was like, oh, you're splitting the fourth season into 2 parts. That's kind of cool because like you don't really
Yeah.
see that. Um, yeah. So Ozark, and then in terms of movies, we got a lot coming out. We got a lot coming out soon. Like I'm excited. First off, I'm excited for Batman. I want to see.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to see what they do with this new Batman movie coming out. It seems a little bit I mean, Batman is always dark, so I'm not even gonna say that it seems a little dark because we already know DC. We already know how DC goes. But uh, oh, actually, All right, so I have one more show, and it's actually Peacemaker.
Yo, I was gonna bring up Peacemaker too, because I've been hearing that it's good.
Yeah, it actually dropped today. It
Yeah.
actually dropped today, and so I I got a chance to watch the first episode, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's not bad. It's not bad, but like, oh man, like James Gunn is just hilarious. It's like you take a character called Peacemaker and
He's
you
like a
make a
Z
show out
level
of it.
character.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, and
So
I've been slandering it too, saying nobody asked, which is true. Nobody asked for this show,
yeah, no more ass.
but I'm gonna end up watching it. And maybe not right now. I'm probably gonna wait till it's finished airing and or all the episodes are out.
Hmm.
Just because I'm watching a bunch of stuff at the moment, but yeah, and I want to get farther into Doom Patrol too. I probably want to finish season 2 of Doom Patrol before I watch Peacemaker. So I mean, we'll see. I'm gonna end up watching it. It's just not. I don't really feel like I need to watch it right now. But
Yeah, it's not urgent. Like it's not. It's just like
yeah,
whenever you have
but
time, it's something fun to watch. Yeah, because there's no like there's no really I feel like there's no real importance in terms of like canon because we don't even know what we don't even know what DC is doing with their properties now,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
since we got like the whole Flash rumor how like the Flash is supposed to be rebooting the DCU and whatnot. But
yeah. I'm not excited about that at all.
but yeah, Peacemaker. I mentioned Batman. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness that comes out in
Hmm.
May, I believe, and I just can't wait. Like ever since I saw that trailer, after No Way Home, I was just like, wow, like this movie is going to be great. So I can't wait for that. On top of that, Thor isn't Love and Thunder supposed to come out this year?
Yep.
Yo, Love and Thunder comes out this year on top of Doctor Strange. That's like ridiculous. We haven't heard much about Love and Thunder yet.
Yeah.
All I heard so far is that
That Jane Foster is gonna become Thor.
Jane Foster is gonna become Thor, but Taika Waititi, I heard that he's been doing a lot of his filming in New Zealand only because he doesn't want to report back to Disney about
What?
a lot of the stuff that he's been doing. Yeah, I heard that like because you got to get it's something about like getting because you're doing filming on uh over like in the US, like you got to get permission to do a lot of stuff. So I guess like because he didn't really want to get all the permission, he decided
Hmm.
to do like a lot of the filming elsewhere, which a director like him, I kind of figured he'll pull like it's not surprising that he'll pull a move like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Thor and yeah, that's my list. That's my list of stuff that I'm most looking forward to this year. What what do you have on your list?
A lot of stuff is the same. The Batman, I'm really excited. All the trailers look amazing. All the designs look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No more nipples on bat suits.
yeah, no more bat nipples. We got we got Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. Um,
Oh yeah.
it just looks like it's gonna be really good. One thing you didn't say, and I'm surprised you didn't say it, is Spider-Verse 2.
Oh wow.
Look, when I tell you
Wow.
I will be on that in that theater on day one, I'm gonna
Across the
be in
Spider
that
Verse.
theater on day one. Yup. So that's another one. You said The Boys season 3, Doctor Strange,
Mm-hmm.
Multiverse of Madness. Um, I am excited about She-Hulk because we haven't really been dealing with the Hulk much in the MCU.
Right.
So I want to get into those characters more, like the Hulk mythos, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully we see Thunderbolt Ross as Red Hulk in that show. That's what I want to see. So I'm
Oh.
excited for She-Hulk. We're gonna finally see her in live action. Gonna see Bruce Banner back. Hopefully we see Red Hulk. I want to see those, that group of characters. You said Moon Knight. Moon Knight is
Yeah.
a yeah. This is interesting. This is a character that I've been interested in ever since I was a kid, but I never really read comics, so yeah, I never really read any books with him. But I've read like his story and his wiki. I looked at a whole bunch of art. I really love his design. But unfortunately, he hasn't appeared in any cartoons or live action thing until now.
Right.
So he's getting his chance. We got
Mm-hmm.
Oscar Isaac in the lead role, Ethan Hawke also starring. So it's looking good. Moon Knight, you said Thor, Love and Thunder,
Mm-hmm.
Ozark season 4, um, the Book of Boba Fett, even though it came out already, but episodes are still coming out.
Right.
So I'm watching that. Mandalorian season 3 again. I'm ready for that. That show has a lot of possibilities after the way that season 2 ended. So
The
um
way I you think that season say because I I had to rewatch the season 2 finale of that show, and we can get into this later. But do you
mhm.
think that they had any chance against the Dark Troopers? Say Luke didn't show up.
I don't know. Maybe they had a small chance because remember there's a few Mandalorians in there, so they had Beskar armor. So you had Boba, you had Din Djarin, you had Bo-Katan. I think that was it, right? There was the other two
And
Mandalorians
oh
weren't
no,
there. So
it was Bo-Katan and her sidekick, but like Boba Fett wasn't actually
oh yeah, but no, no,
in the
no.
ship.
He was though. He was in the ship. He was in the ship, I think. Was he?
He was in his ship. He was in his ship, but he wasn't in the ship with them
Okay.
in the end. But it was Bo-Katan, her 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 partner, Din, and shoot, what's her name? It was Fennec, and then the other girl.
Yeah, both of them had no chance though because they don't have no armor on. But
Yeah, they don't have any armor.
oh yeah, and the guy that what was it? No, 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 never mind. But Din had the dark saber, so I mean there was maybe a chance, but it was really
Oh, he
low.
did have the dark saber.
Yeah, so he could have probably tried to cut them, but I mean there was just so many, it would have been really tough. And the
He had
blasters
the dark
didn't do
saber and
anything.
the dark saber and the spear,
Yeah,
and the Beskar spear.
yeah. So
Honestly, I think they could have figured something out. If we're being honest.
I don't know, man. There was no way they were beating them in a head-on fight, though. They would have had to do something else.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was
yeah.
there was because the blasters don't do anything.
It would have had to be super tactical,
Yeah,
like super. Yeah, but
yeah. What else? Invincible season 2. Hopefully that
oh
drops. I mean,
wow,
apparently they haven't even started production yet. So who knows if
really?
that's even who knows if that's even dropping in 2022. Um, the Bad Batch season 2. We haven't had heard anything about that since they announced that they're doing season 2.
Oh,
So
yeah, we haven't.
hopefully it drops in 2022. We know season 2 is coming. We just don't know
Hmm.
when. Um said Peacemaker and Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
We haven't heard anything about that either.
Oh, but what's it called? Obi-Wan is coming out this year.
Totally forgot about that. Obi-Wan is coming out, but yeah,
And
hopefully
Obi-Wan's
Ahsoka.
coming out
Hopefully Ahsoka comes out too.
with what's his name? Ewan McGregor, is his
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
And what's his name? Isn't it like Hayden?
Hayden
Let me
Christensen.
not miss it. Yeah. I think they're both reprising their roles
They
in
are.
the show.
They are.
So I'm actually really excited for that. I can't believe I forgot.
Hey, and since Tamara Morrison is back as Boba, maybe he'll be Commander Cody. We need it.
Wow.
We need it. We need first.
We
Let's
do
say
need it.
we need Cody and Obi-Wan, and
Uh-huh.
we need Rex
We
in the
need Rex.
Ahsoka show. That's
We
what we
do need
really
Rex.
need, though.
Yo.
That's what we really need. When we get
Yo,
live
that's
action
crazy.
Captain Rex, oh my
Yo,
goodness,
live action Rex.
that's what we need.
Wow.
That's what we need. Because he survived till past the Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
You watch Rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So then then. Yeah, man. Hopefully we get all these people because this is such a there's such a big story there, because
Right.
especially with Obi-Wan, because
Mm-hmm.
they've been working together the whole time, and then literally in 1 second, blast them.
Right.
So I really
It's
want to
so crazy.
see, yeah, and even that's what people were saying about the Bad Batch too, but Cody didn't appear. I really want to see Cody past Revenge of the Sith
Yeah,
and
me
what's
too.
up with him because there really isn't even no material on it. I don't think, not even like
Mm-hmm.
comics. So I
But like
wanna see what's up with Cody.
the Clone Wars did focus more heavily on Rex.
Yeah. Rex. Well, the main characters was Rex and Ahsoka of that show. So
Yeah, that's true. Rex is hard. I like Rex.
now Rex probably my favorite Star Wars character in general.
Yeah, he one of my favorites. He's definitely one of my favorites. Um,
Yeah, I want to see Cody too and Obi-Wan
mhm,
because it's been a long time coming. Because
yeah,
I just wonder what they're gonna do because honestly, I just wonder. I used to I think like they probably shouldn't even do the Kenobi show. I mean, I'm excited for it just because this is Star Wars. I like Star Wars and Obi-Wan's one of my favorites. But all we know at this point is that he's just sitting on Tatooine, supposedly watching Luke. So does he leave Tatooine? Like I don't know where they're going with this. And it seemed like the most interesting thing that he did in those 20 years was already shown in Rebels when he finally killed Maul. So
yeah. Yeah,
I'm just wondering, like, okay, what are they gonna do with Kenobi? Because they can't have him finally defeat Maul. I mean, is he gonna leave Tatooine? I don't know what he's gonna be doing. So, and that's why I
Maul
want to.
is actually one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, definitely. How they brought him back
Like
in Clone Wars was just amazing.
yeah, it was so good. And yeah, Maul. I feel like out of like all of the stories, like Maul had like one of the best stories because
Yeah.
his appearance in like the Phantom Menace was so brief, right?
He only had like one
But like
line too.
but they turned his character into one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I want to see Cody. I want to see like Obi-Wan confront him. Maybe not like, not like try to fight him, but just be like, man, what happened? Like
right.
what was going on that day? Because I don't think they really even know like all the Jedi that survived, what happened. Besides maybe Ahsoka, because she's the one who got Rex chip out. But
Hmm.
everybody who survived probably still doesn't even know. Like that everybody had a chip in their head, and that's what caused them to do Order 66.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I really want to see like that whole dynamic get closer. Because imagine they're good friends. They've been working together for years, and then at a moment's notice, he just flips and tries to kill him. So
Yeah.
yeah, I want to see that. And I think that's really it for 2022.
Yeah. At least so far that have been announced. So
Yeah.
hopefully, like,
Well, I
there's
think
definitely gonna be some like surprise drops
yeah.
this year.
And well, you don't watch no anime, but Attack on Titan came out last week. That's running, and it's looking
A new
like
season?
yeah, season 4 part 1 dropped
Wow.
on when did it drop? On Sunday, I think. So yeah, I'm watching that every week, and I gotta watch Demon Slayer season 2. I think those episodes are still coming out, if I remember correctly. But I haven't been keeping up with the release of that much, so I might be wrong. But I gotta watch Demon Slayer season 2, and yeah, that's really it.
Hmm.
2022 big year. It looks like
Yeah, big
stuff is
year.
finally coming back from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
COVID shut us down, but it looks like at least in the entertainment world, the movies and the shows are coming back. So that's all I got. If you have anything else, speak now or forever hold your peace.
um, nah, that's all I have to say. Yeah, like I'm really excited for this year. Uh, all these installments, I'm predicting like they're all gonna be good. Trying to see where they're gonna take all these projects this year. So yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, make sure you follow all the socials. Make sure you give us a good review on whatever platform that you're listening to us on. And yeah, stay tuned for more Filmjet. We'll be back every week
Definitely.
to we'll be back every week to give you guys more content. So, stay tuned.
Yep. That's at Filmjet Pod on Twitter and Instagram, bringing
Hmm.
you, all kind of content. We talk movies. We don't just talk on the pod. We talk on social media too. So hit us
That's
up.
right.
Like I said before, if you want us to talk about anything, tell us, comment on Instagram, DM us, mention us on Twitter, whatever. Just let us know what you want to hear us talk about. We will watch these movies and shows. Less likely for shows just because it take a long time. I will admit that, but if it's a movie, I can knock that out real quick. So if
Right.
there's something you want us to talk about, let us know. And that's it.
Yeah, that's all we have for today. But thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. See you next